Let's get it.
Hey, it's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. This is Miss Charlie. She's here tonight being a superstar. She won't be here for long, but yeah. Anyway, she just had to sit here and get her 2 cents in. All right, guys. So we got it's going to be a slap in the face for some guys. It's going to be a reality check for others. But we've got a sobering show tonight, and I want you guys to take a minute and listen to what I'm telling you. And this is probably the only channel you're going to get this kind of stuff on. It's not hype. It's not bullshit. It's just the way it is. All right, before we get too long, I want to thank our veterans and first responders for all they do and all they continue to do for this country. We would not be the country we are without them. And here it is. Why 90% why 90% fail and only 10% survive. And it's the shit they don't tell you or teach you about trucking is what kills people. How many times, I can't even tell you how many times I've had people call and say, well, I just love to drive. Well, that's awesome, but that's only 5% of what you're going to be doing, maybe 10, 20%, maybe. All right, so we're going to talk tonight. We're going to talk tonight about the real deal. So let's go. All right, little cleanup here. Gas prices are up to an average of $3.81 a gallon. That's up almost 5.5 cents from last week. I don't have a lot of news tonight. I want to get right into this and talk to you guys about it. Robert was on here the other day, and you know, we tell him he's part of the 10% club, and that 10% is the ones that can grind it out for a year or more. Here is an industry that will grind you down if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, it's not just driving, and I want you guys to understand that. All right, part one: the dream versus the truth. Social media fantasies. Guys posting their new trucks, their stacks of cash, their freedom, and they sell you this shit online without telling you what goes into it. And this is why this is so dangerous for everybody, is because back in the 2020, we had a guy out there. His name was Toe Piglet, and he hyped up the Hotshot industry to the point that it about crashed it. There were so many people getting into it, and it was all for the wrong reasons. His last 2 videos were I made $1 million this quarter or this month or whatever he said. And then he went to, I'm bankrupt, I'm out. The next video. That's how quick it went away. People on social media hype this stuff up. And most of the time, they're just clickbaiting it. They're looking for the clickbait. And don't fall for that. Stop watching these jackwagons. That's all they're trying to do. Is they're trying to earn money off of this social media stuff. Now, all my stuff is up there under education. Nobody watches it but the few that follow me. And we don't make any money off of this. This is not my primary business. Okay. My primary business is trucking. I'm fairly successful at it and have been doing it a while. And I know what I'm talking about. I drove for over a decade. So put your ears on and listen. Pay attention. All right. It all starts with a lie. As I said, you have leasing schemes sold to drivers like used car scams. A leasing scheme would be like a lease to own scheme. And some lease own schemes I've seen. And I'm in contact with the driver right now that is being charged 20% off the top and a ton of ancillary fees. He grossed $5,000 and he brought home, listen to me, he brought home $1,300. That is insane. Okay? It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. Nobody tells you about the broker who ghosts you, about the scams that are out there, about the double brokering, the illegal double brokering. Nobody's going to tell you about not getting paid. The brokers that pay extremely late, where you get charged back and you have to chase them. The brokers that go out of business and you got to chase money. And nobody's telling anybody this, but this is all part of the deal. Okay. Furthermore, let's go just a little further with this. Nobody tells you that the brokers aren't going to work with you for 6 months when you get in this business. Okay? Yeah. We're telling you. The fuel card traps. Guys, as for those of you out there that are in the big rigs, you don't have any, you don't have a lot of choice. You have to sort of go to the truck stops. But if you're a hotshotter, you don't. Stay the hell out of those places. You don't need them. You don't use their fuel cards. You're being lured in. They're overcharging you 50, 60 cents, and then you're being lured in with a 22% discount, which means, okay, they're overcharging you 45 cents now instead. See, do you see what I'm saying? So you have to understand what's going on with the fuel cards. Drivers who are sold the dream and wreck their credit trying to chase it. And I see this so often when drivers go out and instead of investing in a work truck, they go out and buy a Platinum or a Laramie or a Bighorn and a trailer that's ungodly cost. A Diamond C trailer. You don't need a Diamond C trailer to run this stuff. Okay. So understanding what you're doing here. And before you wreck your credit, before you buy a truck, before you do anything, you need to understand the game. Everyone sells you the truck. Nobody sells you the truth, though. This is a big deal. You know, you see that nice truck and it's all shiny and it's cool, and you get to buy a truck and some tools and a trailer. Look, guys, if all you are really looking for is an excuse to buy a truck and a trailer, go buy it. Leave the industry out, because this thing will eat you alive if you're not prepared. All right, number 2, the untaught shit. All right. What they should have told you and what I'm going to tell you tonight. All right. I want to step over here a minute before we go any further. I want to step over and say hi to Amon and Richard and Jay, Dollar Tree Lawn Chair, Michael's in town, Shane's in town. We got a bunch of guys in here, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here, and hope you have questions and participate. All right. So, truth number 1, your truck is a liar. It is a liar. No matter you buy new or you buy slightly used, your truck will break down. Okay? That's inevitable. It's going to break. If you're not ready, you're out the cost of downtime. How one simple hose become a $3,000 week off. Okay. Now, if you're used to running a truck and you have history and you have, just say, for example, you average $5,000 a week gross, and you get shut down for something stupid. Okay. And that, you're not only out the cost of the repair, but you're out the $5,000 it cost you while you're waiting on the repair. And let me tell you something. That van I purchased, okay? That van I purchased for the axle service. Guys, I went to school. I went to school because of downtime. I had Robert in here on 3 or 4 occasions that cost me a week in downtime for trailer repairs. Not only did it cost $4,000 or $5,000 to have it fixed, I was out the $5,000 I would have made that week. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now 1 week cost me $10,000. You got a loss and you got a cost. All right. And if you're not prepared for this kind of thing, you will tank. So, you take something as simple as a $12 hose that you're not prepared for, and you have to be towed off the interstate with a trailer and a load. Okay. You're looking at $500 tow bill probably. Now you're going to have to sit. Okay. Let's think about this, because they're just not going to run you in just because you have a load. The dealership's not going to run you in. You might be able to repair it yourself if you have the tools, but in most cases you won't have the tools. So you're going to have to wait on somebody to fix you, or you pay a mobile service to come out, and they're going to hurt your feelings. They're going to hurt your feelings. Okay. Truth number 2, you're a business, not a driver. Jesus criminy, I can't say this enough. I say it every day. Every day. You are now a business. Nobody teaches you the math, the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance, the DOT inspections. Most new drivers are employees in their heads, but you're a CEO now. You are a business owner. You have to be smart and you have to make decisions for your company. This is not a game. This is a way you can go broke. I told somebody the other day is I can tell you how to make $100,000 really quick in the Hotshot business. And they're like, oh, tell me. I said, spend 200,000 and watch it go away. All right. You are not a driver. When you are driving, that is your responsibility and that is your hat. And you must wear that hat and be safe. When you are not driving, you take that hat off and you put on the CEO hat and everything else falls into your lap. Okay. And you must be able to deal with these things. You must adapt. You must overcome. You must succeed. Or what? You fail. That's it. This is a succeed or fail business. That's all there is to it. Number 3, the market will gut you. If you are not prepared, if you do not pay attention to what's happening in the market, the load board rates turn your profits into pennies sometimes. Okay. And you got to be prepared for that. You must be prepared for that when the rates drop. How do rates drop? More trucks than there is freight. That is how the rates drop. Supply and demand. Okay. If you have 25 trucks sitting in Jacksonville, Florida, and you have one piece of freight coming out, price goes down, guys. Price goes down. And then you have people that will bottom feed that and sit there and take this cheap freight and run with it. And maybe you need to run with it. But when new guys come in this business and they don't know what they're doing, they end up taking cheap freight and it tanks the whole market. You got to know your worth. If you don't know what you're worth, I guarantee you somebody else isn't going to respect you and they're going to drive you into the ground. Okay. All right. You can plan around consistencies and an inconsistent market. Okay. You can't plan around it. You can't plan for it either. You have to take worst case scenarios. All right. You have to take them. Don't go in this thing with pie in the sky numbers thinking, oh, right, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to get this every day and we're going to do that every day. Look, no, you're not. Some days you're going to eat the bear and there's other days the bear's going to eat you. Okay? And that is the fact. Real talk. How many deadhead miles can you afford? Do you even know how to really calculate deadhead miles? If you don't, you've got to get in a group, get a mentor, figure this stuff out. This is not a game. It is a business. Number 4, discipline eats hustle for breakfast. Any one of you out there, any one of you can go out there and grind it out for a month. Who can grind it out for the year and become part of the 10% club? Who can do it? Who can do it and stay legal, stay safe, and stay sane? Are you one of those guys? If you have any question in your head, you need to step back and consider what you're doing. The fall. All right. The first one is a repoed rig. I had a driver on with me. He got in over his head. He didn't ask questions. He went out and did what he was doing. And guess what? He all of a sudden he couldn't run. He gets in a fender bender. Really quick. His truck was in the shop, and the repo guys come and took his shop out of the, or come and took his truck right out of the shop, right out from under him. They will come get it. Miss a payment and see how quick. They're not going to let you keep running. Okay. Broken marriages. How many of those have we seen? Several. In this business, I can't tell you how many broken marriages I've seen. I can't tell you how many wives have put their foot down and said, no, I'm done with this shit. You're coming home. Find something else to do. Now, you don't get me wrong. You still got the $100,000 investment going on, or 125, whatever you invested. But this is why when I call people, or people call me, I tell them, and I ask them their family situation. And I want them to know what happens. One of the best drivers I ever had ended up having to go home and quit because mama couldn't keep her pants on. That was it. Had another perfectly good driver that mama couldn't keep her pants on either. She had a disease or something. Every time she got around another man, her pants fell off. I don't know what that's about, but it happens. So relationships have to be ironclad. You have to be in something to where you trust her and she trusts you, and you work together as a team in this business. And that's the way we are, Mila and I. That's it. I couldn't do anything without her. I wouldn't try. Okay. So marriages and family is the number one reason that, oh my God, was the number one reason that people quit this industry. So before you even consider it, you got to make sure your family situation is good. Okay. And that includes your immediate family, mother, father, sister, brother. Okay. You got to make sure all that stuff's tight and good. Truckers sleeping at the shipper for 2 days. Sometimes it happens. Okay. Sometimes this kind of stuff happens, guys. You have to get to the point to where you pack your patience, because we can't always guarantee. There's no guarantees, but you can't always guarantee that everything's going to work out perfectly and everything's going to be okay. And the shipper's going to do what he said he was going to do, and the broker said he was going to do what he was going to do, and the receiver said he was going to be there and do what he was going to do. So this kind of stuff happens, and you got to be prepared for it. All right. Sorry about that. Suicides. Now, fortunately, we haven't had a suicide. Part 3 is suicides. But you can see, I mean, just think about this. You're home and, you're on the road, say you're 15 hours from home, you're already having problems in your marriage, you're tired, you put in, a 13, 14-hour day, you and your wife are arguing, and, this kind of stuff can happen. And I am very fortunate, thank God, that I haven't had it happen to me, but you hear of it happening. Okay. So mental health is something that is, you got to keep your mental health straight. Burnout and bankruptcy. Burnout is a big deal. I am one of those guys that sometimes will get burnt out. I do it. How do you get away from it? You stop. You take a break for a minute. Okay? You just take a break. It doesn't have to be a long break, but you need to take a break. Take a few days off, take a week off, and stop. And the reasoning will all come back to you. But if you love this business like I love this business, then, after a few days, you're like, "Ooh, I'm ready to go." So, but you have to, for your own mental health and your own physical health, you have to take a break. Now, bankruptcy is a different animal. Bankruptcy starts before you even start driving. How many times have you heard me? If you don't get in this business correctly, it will kill you. Well, that bankruptcy starts with the way you get into the business. Okay? If you don't get in it right, you're not going to stay in it. You're going to be working for payments. You finally give up, throw your hands, and say it ain't worth it. The 90% don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they did not know what they were up against. Okay? You don't know what you don't know. If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have somebody you can ask, somebody that don't go to this social media horse shit and listen to somebody blow smoke up your ass. Whether you listen to me or somebody else, I could give a rat's ass. I don't care. But what I do want you to do is make sure that these people are quoting chapter and verse straight out of the manual. Okay? If you have them tell something on there, look it up. It's easy. It's in the CFR. Okay? Code of Federal Regulation under the DOT and the FMCSA regulations. Simple. It's easy to follow. What you don't want to do is let some of these jack wagons out there, the ones that are stopping by the liquor store and filming it and putting it in a car, or driving 15 hours on PC and doing all this illegal shit, you don't want to be listening to those people. Why? Because you're going to do the same thing. You surround yourself with dipshits, you're going to become a dipshit. All right? So you pay attention, you learn, you question, you double check, do your own research. Don't believe shit. All right? All right. The survival code. How you win. Number one, you invest in yourself first. Number one, you get that CDL. You always have something to fall back on. You can always get a job if you keep that CDL clean. This is number one. We don't work with non-CDLs. I don't spend a lot of time on the phone with non-CDLs. My normal questions are, do you have your CDL? If the answer is no, I say, well, go get your CDL and call me back. That's it. I have no time for it. If you won't invest in yourself, Why am I going to invest time in you? Okay. All right. You win. How you win? You build a war chest. Don't buy a truck until you've got 3 months of operating expense. Okay. You don't go out and buy your truck first. You make sure you got money in the bank to be able to operate that truck, because that truck ain't worth a damn to you if it's sitting in your front yard and you can't put fuel in it. All right. Learn the cost per mile before you take your first load. There are 1,000 videos on the internet on how to figure your cost per mile. Get it, figure it, know what it's going to cost you to operate. Never sign what you haven't read, especially a lease purchase. A lease purchase is when you are leasing a truck to purchase it. And the last payment, they give you the title. That's a lease purchase. And lease purchases, for the most part, are scams. If you're involved in a lease purchase, you are being scammed. 99% of the time. Let me not say that to everybody, but 99% of the time you're being scammed. You are working for that trucking company and paying off that truck for them. Get a mentor, not a recruiter. Okay? You want somebody to help you, not try to talk you into shit. Now, let me tell you something. I had Leroy Brown called me. Okay? He called me the other day. It was funny because I don't know if you guys know the song, but that was a big deal when I was growing up. Bad, bad Leroy Brown. So anyway, Leroy Brown called me. And his first question was, do you think I can make it if I buy this truck and this trailer and my payment is this and this? And what did I tell him? No, you don't need that. You're putting way too much money into something you're going to work for payments. Okay? Don't do that. If I was a recruiter, I'd be like, hell yeah, you can make money out of boy. Go get it, man. Shit, yeah. No. My goal is not to see somebody fail. I am not here to tell people what they want to hear. I am here to tell them how to do this business. I'll help them if I can. Okay? He asked a question. I told him the truth. Then I gave him options on what to look for and where he needed to be in the money-wise game, where your monthly needs to be. Okay. Leroy, I appreciate the call, buddy. All right. Start ugly. This is what I was just telling you. You start ugly, you start small, you move smart, you make strategic moves. You do things. When I say start ugly, that means, look, my truck is a tradesman. Okay? It's not anything special. It has everything on it I want on it, but it is a tradesman. It's tradesman. Start small. That just means think about what you're doing. Don't go out and I had another gentleman. Let me tell you, I had another gentleman call me, and he got in this thing, bought 3 trucks right off the bat, and couldn't move them. Okay, never did any research. He was looking at guys that was blowing smoke up his butt with all these. I made this much money today, and I did this, and here we are. And guess what, guys? It's called clickbait. People do that kind of stuff to try to get you to tune into their channel so they can make money off of it. And you got to move smart. You have to think about what you're doing. You have to make sure that if you go down today, you have what you need in the bank. You're not out blowing every dime on Saturday because you had a good week. And now you can't put money in the tank to roll again on Monday. Move smart, man. Move tight. It ain't what you make, it's what you keep. The power of saying no to a load. Now, you've heard me on other shows where I say that not all money is good money. Just because you got paid well to go somewhere doesn't mean it's a good load. The load, I'll give you a prime example. If you take a $2.50 load to Minot, Minnesota, or Minot, North Dakota, excuse me, you lost money. The chances of you getting a load out of there is slim to none. So if you have to deadhead out of there, that was a terrible load. Not only do you have to know where to go, but you have to know where not to go, and you have to be able to say no and walk away from it. All right? So always make sure that you don't run yourself into a deficit. You don't have so many overburdened bills. You didn't buy that platinum and that diamond C, and now you got $5,000 a month bills, and you can't say no. That makes you a bottom feeder. Okay? Find your lane and specialize in it. Don't chase. Do not chase. And I have to tell people all the time that you can't have every piece of gear on your trailer for every type of load. You just can't. You have to put the stuff on there where the majority loads you can run. But if you try to put everything there is on a trailer or on your truck so that you could run absolutely every load coming or going, you won't have any weight left to put anything on your truck. Okay? So as you go along, slow and steady, if you notice that, hey, there are a ton of loads that need coil racks, then you might get 3 or 4 coil racks and put on your truck. Okay. So that's growing organically. That's growing, slowly. That's smart. But you don't go out and buy gear just because you missed one load. That may be the only load that comes up this month or this year. So be smart. You survive this game with your back. I'm sorry, with your brain, not just your back. Okay? You have to think. You can't make big moves. You can't do that, guys. You have to, you have to be smart about what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, then get a mentor, get somebody to help you. All right. I highly recommend finding somebody to lease onto. Don't just go out there, grab an MC and think you're going to do something. Because Amon will tell you, you got 6 months to a year that you're going to have to survive. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it. Do we have comments, questions? Before we go too far, though, I want to say one thing, and that is, if this episode pisses you off, good. I hope it pisses you off, because that just means you still care enough to win. You know, I'm not trying to detract anybody from doing anything, because I can't. You're going to do what you want to do anyway. But what I'm trying to do is give you the knowledge to succeed. Stay away from YouTube bullshit, TikTok bullshit that will clutter your mind. Learn your craft. If you want this to be your craft, you have to learn it. Trucking will take your peace of mind, your time, and your money if you let it. Okay? It'll take it. And it'll smile as it's walking off. So if you do it right, though, it'll give you the freedom the world just doesn't understand. It's going to, over time, it can make you a lot of money. It can give you that freedom. So you think about what I said. It's not all the truths. It's not all the hard times that are out there, but I want to give you guys a dose of what you're going to be facing. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it now. Do we have comments or questions? All right. What do we got? Dollar Tree lawn chair. What is a better option? Pay for a sleeper unit or pay for hotels? Depends on you. Okay. Let me show you something, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to show you this. Bertha, which is the gray one up here with the sleeper. It's a Ram 5500, 6.7 liter diesel, with the sleeper on it and a fifth wheel. That truck, as soon as I get it cleaned up and ready, is going to be for sale. That truck was the one Robert was driving, and he is retired. And I want to wish everybody, down there in Florida, if you can stand his old grumpy ass, I want to wish him a great retirement. I will tell you, the truck was Robert smoked, and he smoked in the truck, and we're working now to try to get some of that smell out of it. But truck's in good shape. I put $25,000 in it this year with a new turbo, new front hubs, everything. Everything goes to the dealer to get worked on. That's just the way I do things. So that one's coming up for sale. It'll be for sale for $35,000, and I'm not moving. So if you know anybody that's interested in it, it'll probably be another 2 or 3 weeks before it's ready to go. So now back to the question. I'm sorry I interrupt that with a sales pitch, but here's the deal. Dollar Tree. Over the long term, your sleeper is going to be the better deal. Okay. When you're looking at, and it gives you a lot more freedom to do what you need to do. You can roll right up to where you need to go. So I never drove the 5500 at all, but Robert loved it, and it gave him a lot of ability to make good money. So I think over time, the sleeper will pay for itself really quick. During the summer months, you're looking at $140 a night. Okay. In the winter months, it can be 65 to 70 a night. Okay. So you just have to do the math, figure that on what you plan on running, and calculate it out. Okay. Hope that helps, man. What else we got, ma'am? Oh, again, would calling a bank or finance help with a repo? Let them know the situation. Well, I'm not sure what this guy's situation was. He didn't tell me at all that he was in trouble. He just called me one day and said they repoed my truck. And I'm like, well, what the hell do you mean? He proceeded to tell me. And I'm like, well, I don't understand. I couldn't understand because he'd been making money. I guess he just wasn't paying the note. And when the bank finds out that you're using the truck and you're not paying the note, they're going to come get it quick. Okay. They just are. They're not going to fool with it because all you're going to do, you can rack up 3,000 miles a week on this truck easily. Okay. So that's it. I don't know that it would help the situation. I would have certainly done it. I would have certainly reached out, but there was no reason for him to be in that situation. Okay. That's the first thing. All right. What else we got? You are a yappy little guy today, Mr. Lawn Chair. Okay, so what's the chances I get a shirt or sticker for DD214? Oh, I can do it. Get with Mila, and we'll send you a shirt since you asking so many questions today. Okay. How long is your process for onboarding? One truck, trailer, and equipment is ready to go. It's going to depend on you, on how fast you do the paperwork. There is a set of things that we have to do. You have to have a drug test. That takes about a week to get done. It's really on you. Absolutely. We did Ralph in, I don't know. Other than the drug test, we did Ralph's paperwork in about a day. It was all done. He had it all right there with him. He was organized and boom, boom, boom. It was done. We just had to wait for the week and the drug test to come back, and that was it. So about, say, a week and a half, I would say. Yeah. Okay. Can you still have a bed on a truck with a sleeper? No, it doesn't. You won't have any room. You really only have about this much room. But wait a minute. Richard's here. He has a unit. Richard and Robert both have smaller units that sit on top of his truck. So yeah. No, you don't. If you're putting a full sleeper on it, like that 5500 I have, with that big ass mattress, yeah, you're not going to have room for a bed. That's built on. So if you would, yeah, just yeah. Richard, if you can give them a name of the sleeper you have, just pop it up in there. We'll post it real quick. Okay, that will have to come. Albert, how are you, sir? What are some of the keys to look for when choosing a company to lease on with? Look, you got to find out the rates, number one, and you need to find out what else is charged and how much it is. Okay, that is going to be the key thing. I have seen guys come in here with 35% of gross plus all these other fees. The guy I was telling you about is getting nailed for 20% of gross and all these other fees. And it's killing him. It's absolutely killing him. So you are in the catbird seat, Albert. You tell them you want to know all their fees and how they're calculated. Our fees here is off your adjusted gross income. Okay. So we end up taking about 15.5% for what we do. And that includes all the dispatch and paperwork, collections, all that mess. It's not enough, but we try to put as much money in the pocket as the driver as we can. I hope that helped you out, Albert. What we got? Stan, does DD2? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Both. We do. As a matter of fact, I pay the factoring charge. I pay the factoring percentage. So I guess hope that answers your question. That's it? Look at us. 50 minutes long. It's been a great show, man. I am ecstatic that we've got this done. And I don't want to make anybody mad, and I don't want to discourage people. I'm not there, but I would much rather you leave here mad and get into business correctly than to, for me to sit here and blow smoke up your butt. I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to tell you the truth. If you're looking for the real shit on what's happening, that's what we try to give you here. So we are going to call this a night. It is Wednesday, and I've had a great time. We enjoyed it. Remember, guys, love your family because it's all you got. All right? I love my family. They all right. I don't care what you guys say about it. Oh. So anyway, guys, till next week. Be safe. Be smart. Love your family. We'll talk to you next time. This is Bryan with DD214 Transport. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. Bye-bye.
Jeans in a 4x4, cruising down your front door. I'm a postage pack and a whiskey neat, some dive bar right up the street. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, go with me, riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a western swing on an old jukebox, a tailgate party in a parking lot. I'm rowdy rough, big and grown, I get it done all on my own. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, and go with me, riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a cowboy hat, a ripped up shirt, tractor pulling out in the dirt. Hot cup of coffee with a cigarette, pretty little thing sitting on my hip. I'm a good old boy